Well, I am almost to Kentucky. Almost there. I wanted to wait and watch the two horses race in Kentucky. I thought Arson raced tremendous. Just beat for second, paced, 48-4? Raced his ass off. He raced huge. Just such a nice horse, and he's going to continue to be a nice horse for us for quite a while. I was saying to somebody the other day, before when the stable operated, we always were like 3-year-olds, and when they get to the end of the year, we got to kind of disperse them because you're kind of screwed now, right? Where are you going to race? You're out of that non-winners of 7, you're up into the open condition mixes, and we just don't have the power to continue forward with consistency and confidence. That changed this year. A number of our sophomores are absolutely good enough to push forward and be very good horses for us for quite some time. I suspect Arson is one of those horses. Huge mile from here. Tonight also, Gaslight was 7th. A couple of people messaged me after and said, if you were there, you would have went forward. Of course I would have went forward. That doesn't mean it would have worked. Here's the thing, right? You had a 10-horse field. What we needed was to leave, drop in 4th or 5th, follow Scab 3rd or 4th. That would have been mission accomplished for us tonight. Instead, James went out, looked left. You got to understand, when you get the turn comes up quick at Kentucky, and you take one look left, you know what's going on, right? We're 20-1. A number of the favorites are left. Now, one of the favorites are out there, but everything can change pretty quick. I don't think that Dexter was worried, but James was, and he should have been, because it probably would have ended up with him getting parked the whole way. He opted to take back and look for a hole, and of course there's not one. So he just backpedaled. It's one of those things where you're always left wondering after the race, well, what if he had went forward? We all know the answer to that. He goes forward, he's out the whole way, for sure. And if he doesn't, he has to pay quite a speeding ticket. Probably 55 and a piece, 56 to get there. Now you got to deal with a favorite who's probably already cleared to the front. Now you're in the 2-hole trying to chase down that beast that just won by 6 lengths at 52. He would have ripped all the transmission and much of the soul out of our horse tonight had James kept going. There's always going to be the people say, and I'm one of them, go forward. There's also a time and a place for it. And we can always dream about what would have happened if James had kept going in the first turn. But as aggressive a driver as I am, I'm also your partner on the horse. And I know what would have happened. Would he have bounced back? Yeah, he's a tough horse. But I can tell you what the result would have been. At very best, a much uglier 7th. And at worst, a much beaten 9th. Although I am never a fan, nor will I ever be a fan of retreat in a horse race. I think Gaslight Hall made out a lot better tonight with the way James drove him than the way I would have drove him. And that is the reality of what took place tonight. I appreciate all the emails. They're cool. It's nice having the confidence of your clients behind you, but realistically, sleep on it. Think about how the race went. Think about the horses that were in there. Think about our horse. And I think you'll arrive at the same conclusion I did. It would have been a kamikaze mission moving forward, and it would have ended well. So that was Kentucky in a nutshell. I wasn't without my own missteps tonight, right? Today. Irresistible Sun, I'm left leaving the track saying if I just back in down the backstretch, he never beats me. Irresistible Sun's not a 27-second horse on the end of it. He's 28 in a piece most of the time. And I wasn't going to let a slower horse beat me on a slower mile. So I cut him loose halfway down the backstretch. And I got beat. Fair and square. Sonny wasn't as good today. Left line a little bit. Maybe a hair flat. As Jason pointed out, our Lasix was now at almost 6 hours. They were running the races so slow. Did he bleed a little bit? I don't know. Didn't feel like he did. He looked like he did. He did feel like he did. But you would see a little more discomfort in his breathing after the race, and I watched him for a good 10 minutes before I left. There was no discomfort. He just seemed not as good tonight. The good news about him is he will bounce back. Always does. We have stuff to work with. That left line, that has come up before. At the start of the year, that was an issue. It was left stifle. I'm sure Dr. Latessa will work on that. We did have it done, but he just wasn't quite as good tonight. Now, was he? I'll tell you who was this afternoon. I'll tell you who was absolutely tremendous. Was Gorgeous Package. I was listening to the commentary. They have it over the loudspeaker during the post parade, and they were talking about how Gorgeous Package races every 2.5 weeks or 2 weeks. She did. We didn't race her she wasn't eligible to the race this week or the one in the middle of the year. We didn't take her to very many fairs. We raced her pretty sparsely, actually. Raced her pretty conservatively. But I'll tell you one thing. When you go into a race, I don't know which way to turn up here. I'm just going to wait. When you go into a race and you have a horse, that is on 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, some of them. That's like a thoroughbred schedule. Well, maybe not quite a thoroughbred schedule, but you know what I'm talking about. That's like a, I know where I'm at right now. I know exactly where I'm at right now. I don't need to stop here. That is a tough schedule for a 2-year-old to keep them tight and sharp. And she has done a very, well, first off, Jason, I've been on the road a lot of July and August. Jason have done a tremendous job keeping this filly tight because she was razor sharp today. Now, granted, she was in with cheaper horses. She was in a fair race. And I'll rewind. The reason she's in the fair race is because we want to race her in the last sire stake to make sure we make the consolation. So can't race in the Buckeye this week and then race in the final sire stake. You're not allowed. So we had to wait it out and race in the next sire stake. So that's why she was in the fair race. She wasn't eligible to the Ohio Breeders' Championship because we didn't pay her in. That was pretty obvious. She was terrible in February and March. How could we pay her in? So fair it is. She's going to the fair. And she won today and just jogged. Purple People Eater race good. Was she a little bit short? Yeah, probably a little bit, I guess. There's not much we can do about that. She raced her butt off and tried right to the wire, right to the bitter end, and raced very good. That should get her in the consolation, I hope. I mean, I guess I'm talking out of my butt here. I don't know. I assume a fifth would do it, but we'll see. Gypsy Hill raced huge. I know Jason after the race said, no, he didn't. I said, Jason, you come first over. They come out 56.5 mile track. It's his first start in over a year without hobbles on him. Yeah, I think he raced good. He was trotting all he could right to the wire also. I can tell when they're going all they can. It's pretty hard to be angry at a horse that's trying as hard as they can. And Purple People Eater did. Gorgeous Package did. Irresistible Sun got beat, but he did. Gypsy certainly did. I was really pleased with him. So Ohio, we were 5th, 1st, 5th, 2nd. 1, 2, 5, 5. Not too bad today. Cleveland Masha finished 7th. She's got to go. She's on that list of horses that just can't stay. They can't stay. I don't want to talk anymore about her. Shouldn't have to. They went 2 minutes and she was last. There. That's all I have to say. Can't turn out and wait for a horse that just doesn't show enough yet. I know she's only 3 or 4 starts in, but for the love of God, there's got to be a line drawn in the sand. So we had an unbelievably great 4th with Arson. We had a very valiant effort by Gaslight Hall and James to finish 7th. We had a tremendous, and those were all good efforts today. The only horse that didn't race great today was Cleveland Masha, I guess. Maybe she can't. Every other horse we put behind the gate raced their butt off today. No complaints here. Very happy with the racing, very happy with the way everything's gone. Sure, I was hoping to watch the Cinderella story, same as you were tonight. Gaslight Hall win, Arson slide through the inside and win. Oh, what a tremendous night. We got to be realistic. They both did everything they could. One was 19-1 and finished 7th. The other horse was 5-1 and just got beat for 2nd at the wire. They finished where they were supposed to. You don't always get that Cinderella story now, do you? You know what? We gave it a shot, though. Don't go to bed wondering only if Anthony had rolled that horse tonight, because trust me when I tell you, watch the race again, you know the answer. you know what would have happened. And that's the difference between James and I. But I'll tell you what, Gaslight Hall, he'll be sharp. He's still got to go to Corbin. He's still got some races. If we want to, we can go back up and race in that stake race, the consolation final in consolation for the grassroots in Ontario. They go for like 25 Canadian. If it even comes close to, and I'll know. I should have looked before I said this. You don't need to tell me. I'll know as soon as this video is over. But if it makes sense and we can go up and get it, then sure, we'll go race him in it. But Corbin will be on his schedule. Don't kid yourself. He'll be coming into Corbin sharp, feeling really good and really happy. Got to take this. I will talk to you all very soon. Have a great night, because we did have a very good day at the stable.